I was saying to Mara, there was more culture and music during the inauguration than there was in 4 years of that guy's presidency.
Yeah, I was wondering, did he ever have a concert at the White House? Obama had such great concerts.
Oh, I know. No Kennedy honors.
No,
No nothing.
no.
May he be happy and free from suffering and leave us all alone.
Yeah, it's much easier to wish that for him now.
Well, if he was happy, he wouldn't be such a
Yeah.
sad human being. Other than that,
Lady Gaga.
yes, one of the talking heads says, we were wondering if she was going to maybe tone it down for the inauguration, but hell no.
I liked her dove and her branch.
Yeah, wasn't that dove amazing?
Yeah, and then she had an olive branch on her ear.
Yeah. Hey, Polly. Hi, Clea.
Hello.
The gang's all here.
There's the professor and the madman over there. I didn't say which was which,
Did you say the professor and Mary Ann?
Good one.
Oh, Mary Ann, the woman who played Mary Ann, she died just like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
This will be a 3-hour class.
Just of course you could see this beautiful day. Too bad.
The poses started getting rough. Yogis, they were tossed.
3-hour class.
For the carriage of the fearless crew, the yogis would be lost.
3-hour class.
Do any of you remember, Bob Denver, right?
Yeah.
Dobie Gillis?
Dobie Gillis, Maynard G. Krebs. Remember, he was a beatnik.
Yeah.
That's way before your time, Clea. No.
I remember Gilligan's Island.
Did you know, Paul, that one of Dan Shulman's relatives, Max Shulman, wrote Dobie Gillis?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's move on from our trivial pursuit here.
Dude.
I have a form of Tourette's. Once I get going, it's hard to stop my free association. All right, we shall begin. So get comfortable, settle in. Settling the mind into the body on the cushion. Literally let your consciousness descend, your awareness descend and diffuse itself throughout the body rather than looking downward from the head, from the brain. as asana practitioners, you're quite familiar with that process of being receptive to the whole body, the breath moving in that space. So both the breath and awareness take place and are present spontaneously. You don't have to do anything except not get lost or distracted. Of course, not getting lost or distracted is pretty impossible. You get lost, you don't do it, you just get lost. You get caught up in a story, conceptual space, but you also wake up automatically, spontaneously, eventually. Just recognize that moment of knowing and clarity, the moment you wake up from a distracted mind state and come back home to your breath. This basic practice is called shamatha, which means calmly abiding or peaceful abiding. This is shamatha with an object, the object being knowing the breath. And as the breath begins to settle, the mind gradually begins to settle.
bhunaktu, sahana bhunaktu,
Saha
saha
virin
virinkarvavahai,
Tejasvinavaditamastu
tejasvinavaditamastu
ma
ma
vidvishavahai.
vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
May we be supported and protected by the lineage. May our study be dedicated. May our study be brilliant, so that it bears the fruit of wisdom and compassion. May there be no disharmony between us. Om, peace, peace, peace. Om, Om, Om. Yogena chitasya padena vacham malam sharirasya chavaichikena yopakaratam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjalir anatosmi avahu purushakaram shankarachakrasiddharinam sahasrashir samshvetam pranamami patanjalim. Hari Om. Have a strap and stand in Tadasana. Weird light, sorry. So have your strap and adjust it so it holds your wrists shoulder socket width apart. And you're actually going to put the strap inside your thumbs, okay? And then you get that tail out of the way and take the arms up into urdva hastasana. And your arms will be this way. Make the circle of the palm very large. Extend the thumb out from the root. Equal weight on the inner and outer heels. And draw the legs up into the sockets. Don't push backward from the knee joint. Have a sense of drawing the leg up. Inner thigh and back thigh move up. Tailbone moves down, almost like you have a kangaroo tail. But the floating ribs ascend. As you ascend the arms more and more, the tendency will be to grip at the base of the neck, so open that up. Untuck the chin. And then put this, actually we'll get to the strap again in a moment. Take downward dog. Adho svanasana. And make the circle of the palm as big as you can. Ground the base of the thumb, extend the thumbs, and extend the index finger also from the inner wrist. The forearm actually ascends away from the floor as you extend out of your armpit. You shouldn't feel like you're pressing toward the floor from your forearm or your elbows. Hug the arms into the socket and extend the armpit chest away from the socket. Make the side waist ribs longer. The side ribs move toward the pelvic rim. They do not push out against the belly toward the thighs. Grounding the ball mounts, lift the shin, the inner thigh, the back thigh up. Untuck the chin a little bit. And bend the knees, come down and rest. Take trikonasana to the right. Extend the toes, extend the arches. Again, there's a sense of drawing the leg up, not pushing back through the knee joint. Lift the right armpit chest off the arm and turn the chest. Roll the left chest back. So the right rib cage is not behind you, it's underneath you. Yeah, you people in Berkeley, you never go to the right. A bunch of leftists. All right, inhale, breath, and come up. Change sides. But you know, like the Native American elders taught us, the bird needs two wings, right? Yin and yang, right and left. So extend the soles of the feet, draw the inner and back thigh up. So the calf muscle actually lifts a little up into the shin bone, out of the Achilles tendon. You're not pushing backward from the knee joint. That's literally cutting yourself off at the knees. And then roll the right armpit chest back and the left forward, so the left chest is underneath the right, not behind. And inhale, breath, come up. Okay, you're going to take the strap again around the, inside the thumb. And then you're going to take virabhadrasana 1. Okay, with the arms over the head with the help of the strap. Ground that right heel, shin bone hits toward the calf. From the left big toe, extend to the outer heel and from the inner knee, draw the left inner thigh up into the socket. Lift out of the groin.
Can you show how that? Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Right hip pulls back, left hip rotates forward. If you can take the head back, do that. From the left big toe, extend to the outer heel. From the inner left knee, draw the inner thigh up. That way. Extend the arms as if they begin from the floating ribs. And head neutral, and switch to the other side, going to the left. Sit down into the square. From the right big toe, extend to the outer heel. From the inner right kneecap, we'll draw the skin up into the socket. The left shin bone hits toward the calf muscle. So you ascend out of both groins. Draw the left hip back and roll the right hip and pelvic rim forward and ascend even more from the inner knee through the groin. Head back if you can. Extend the arms from the floating ribs to draw the back body up out of the lumbar. And head neutral, arms down, come out of the pose on that side. Okay, you're going to keep the strap, but this time it goes around the wrists, not around the thumb. And then in that position, take uttanasana. Page spine to start, in other words, no rounding in the back. Extend the arms. Shift the weight from the heel to the center arch. The more you extend the arms, there will be a tendency for the shoulder blades to grip the neck. So keep opening that up. Untuck the chin. Gradually extend deeper into uttanasana. And then begin to take the arms as far over your head as you can, keeping them fully extended though. Push the strap away with your wrists. Soft belly. Open the shoulder blades off the neck. Then keep the arms lifted as high as you can away from your back. Stand to Tadasana. Go slowly. Get the head to neutral. And then gradually lower the arms to the sides. All right. Take off the strap. And then we're going to take Pinchamayarasana, which is a forearm balance. If you can't kick up into the pose, just work on, the base of the pose. And you can use a belt around the elbows and a block between the palms. The reason for the props is to keep the forearms parallel to each other. The strap goes just on the forearm though, just below the elbow. Okay? I can show you the base pose. I don't put my palms flat. I press my palms into the block because I have a little shoulder glitch. So you can either just work on the base of the pose, or those of you who can kick up against the wall, do that. Head is off the floor. Tuck the tailbone in deep. Move the buttocks up and lift out of the armpits and collarbones. Or just work on the base of the pose. You don't have to go up. And then come down. Okay. One of my students used to call it, pinch my lower back asana. You didn't tuck enough, obviously. All right, take another downward dog. I heard that Biden had an indoctrination for his dog. Yeah, I actually heard he did. That was okay, make the circle of the palm big. From the wrist to the elbow, slightly ascend the bone, extend out of the armpit chest, untuck the chin, side ribs moving up, pelvic rim, inner thigh, back thigh ascend. From behind your navel, lift up into the bowl of the pelvis by lengthening the waist and growing much more. And then if those of you who can, begin to take the head down towards the floor by extending the armpit. The more you go down, though, the more the arms are going to roll in and pinch the neck. So keep opening that up. Thoracic spine is actually extended toward the base of the skull. You find so the thoracic spine does a back bend in this pose. And bend the knees, come down and rest. All right, not bad for old people. Nothing wrong with being old, right?
What's
We
the
all want to get
alternative?
older. We just don't want to lose our mobility and our cognition. Assuming you're cogent right now. Or as Rinpoche always asks, are you aware? If you're not aware, raise your hand. You're all aware. See how easy that is? The Dzogchen yogis say it's so simple we don't believe it. Your conceptual mind is going, no, it's got to be something amazing, psychedelic, far out, some sort of incredible state of consciousness. It's not. All right, good enough pontificate. Take Shirasana, headstand. Are you awake, Mona? Still awake? Okay. Most of you do headstand, yeah? Shirasana. It's good for your lymphatic system, to get upside down every day. Forget all this enlightenment baloney. It's good for you. Okay. Every headstand is different every day. So how much weight you bear on your head is modulated by the grounding of the forearms. But the palm should be relaxed. The fingers should not squeeze or grip. Have a sense of the knuckles lengthening toward the nails softly. And with the head resting on the floor, just let gravity do it. You don't have to push your skull down into the floor. Ground the forearms, then ascend the upper arm from the elbow up to the armpit socket, and then add the lift of the shoulders off the neck. So the neck gets traction between the shoulder blades and the grounding of the forearms. And then some days you bear more weight on your head than others, that's fine. Always a lot of different levels of capacity, so do what you can. Okay, take the legs to Baddha Konasana, if you can. The grounding of the arms, the wide and lifted shoulders. And Mona, the feet should do namaskar. Well, feet together. Yes. Doing the namaskar. And re-extend the legs. And then the breath takes you out of the pose. Rest with the head down.
So if I'm done with the headstand, what could I be doing?
Well, if you're done with headstand, Erica, do down dog with head support or prasarita padota, asana, wide stance, head support.
Okay.
Some sort of forward bend with head support, because we want to keep the inversion part going.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. Okay. All right. Take 2 blocks. Okay. A lot of you know this one. So you either sit in virasana or dandasana. And arch your back a little and find the block. That block goes between your shoulder blades. Don't take the head back right away. Keep the head forward. Settle the back onto the block. And then extend and dome the chest to bring the head back. The other block is for head support. Either straight legs grounded or virasana legs. Draw the shoulders down, the trapezius down, widen the collarbone and the shoulder blades. Tuck the buttock a little bit. And don't push the floating ribs from the back of the body toward the front. Rather, draw them away from the pelvic rib. So you're lengthening the space in the back body from the hip to the rib cage. And then you add the extension of the thoracic spine. Move the breastbone away from the navel. So the thoracic spine is extending through the neck to connect it to the base of your skull. Be careful, be careful that you're not pushing down from your sternum, your chest, against the block. Just let gravity rest the back body on the block, but lengthen the spine along the block and connect it through the neck to the base of your skull. Take the arms up and extend over the head, bend the elbows, palms to the head support block. The elbows tend to go out, so rotate the arm back in the socket, bring the elbows in so they point up again, and draw downward from the elbow into the socket. Walk your hands down the block as much as you can and press the little finger more to help that rotation of the outer arm. If possible, take the head support block to the next level or just stay where you are. And bring the arms up and over and dome out of that pose with your breath. Okay, then we'll take ustrasana, camel pose. So you're kneeling on the floor. If you don't have a soft mat or rug, you can put a blanket under your legs. Toes extend straight back. Tuck the butt in. Lift up from the floating ribs. Don't take the head back right away though. If you can't touch your feet, you can put a bolster across your ankles or your calves. Dome back. Now minimize the hips falling backward. We're going to move a little bit. Then arch the head back if you can. Squeeze the outer legs into the socket and move forward from the outer thighs and hips. Bring the sit bones deep in and lift the floating ribs off back. Then lift the armpit chest off where the arm comes into the socket. And tailbone in deep. Increase the lift out of the floating ribs and increase the back bend to come out of the pose. And then sit back on your heels. Wait there. Do not bend forward yet, please. Okay, if you're bored with that way of going into ustrasana, you can come up from the sitting position. Not everybody can do that. Otherwise, dome back the way you usually do. Squeeze the outer legs into the socket. Come forward from the outer thighs and hips. And lift the chest off where the arm comes up into the socket. Scoop the sit bones in and lift the floating ribs. As Sly Stone used to say, hi, and dome up out of the pose and sit back. And of course, the mantra for that action is boom shakalaka. You gotta lift the ribs high. Okay, one more downward dog. Side ribs toward the pelvic rim, lift up from behind the navel, up into the bowl of the pelvis by extending the waist and groins any amount. Then step or walk up into uttanasana, standing forward bend. Gradually work your way into uttanasana. And inhale, come up. Okay, we'll take viparita dandasana in the chair. We're going to add a blanket today, so watch how I set that up. So you take a blanket. Okay. May I have your attention, please? Take a blanket, and then you roll it up. Okay, so it's like, as I studied with this British woman once, you roll it into a proper sausage. Okay? Now, it's good to have a mat on the chair so your blanket doesn't slide. Okay? So, you're actually going to be sitting on the blanket at the back edge. Okay? So the blanket goes lengthwise, not crosswise.
Sitting.
Okay? The blanket goes lengthwise from front to back on the seat of the chair. So you're sitting on it, which actually raises the hips, the pelvis up. Mm-hmm. And you arch back, and you just center yourself. Arms come under the chair initially, just like usual. Now, because of that extra height under your hips, you may need some height under your feet. And you extend your legs and dome the chest back. So the blanket is completely under the pelvis, even a little forward of the coccyx. we're doing. Because extended legs doesn't work. Feel free to just keep the feet on the floor with your knees bent. Roll the thighs in. So the outer thighs roll in, and the outer thighs actually grip the blanket slightly. Then, as we did on the block, be careful not to push from the chest toward the chair. Lengthen the sternum away from the navel, the pubic plate. Lengthen from the heart center to the throat, and draw the thoracic spine along with it as you create that space. Okay, add the arms over the head at any time, those of you who do that variation. Nice strong extension. Keep the wrists a little wider than the armpit sockets though. And then extend the elbows. Straight arms. You can keep the hands wider. If you got a pillar back there, Erica, go for it. Might be far away. It's farther than I thought. The perspective isn't quite right. Take the arms a little wider so your elbows aren't bent. The arms can go higher up too. Don't worry about going to the floor. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right. Bring the arms up. Inhale, exhale. Dome out of your chair. Okay, give a little twist to the right. So bring the shins in a bit though. Elbows will have a sense. So actually, Erica, just sit cross-legged. Oh, you can sit on the chair too. Go ahead, sit on the chair. Have your right side facing the chair. And then twist toward the chair. There you go. Yeah. Take that right hand even farther back, bend the elbow, lean on the back arm a little, and lift the left floating rib and armpit chest. Chin up. Chin up. And then release, come to the center, right there. Sit up nice and tall, twist to the other side. Let your back arm elbow bend a little to help draw the trapezius, upper arm and shoulder blade down as you turn. Lifting from the right waist floating rib, but keep the left thigh and knee a little in. Find Tadasana in your upper chest. Where's Tadasana? Not where's Waldo, where's Tadasana? You know the joke, right? Waldo went to India and found himself. All right, come out of the pose. All right, set up your shoulder stand. Sarvangasana. I don't know, Jenny. I think I gotta up level my t-shirt game. You're wearing really fun t-shirts lately. This is old school.
What?
My old.
My sister sent it to me from Japan.
Oh, sure, I'm sure. Yeah. So. Use the arms and the back muscles so you have a sense of lifting off the neck, throat, and chest energetically. Don't expect a huge actual movement, but energetically you're not sitting on your neck or your throat. Use the hand, add the extension from the hips and the legs. Iyengar said once, your torso should say to your legs, I am doing my job. You do yours. Let us work together. Kind of sounds like what Biden said today. Let's work together.
Unity.
I think that's by Canned Heat, Betsy. Take Ekapada Sarvangasana. So the left leg stays extended up and even slightly back as the right leg comes down. Keep doming the chest if you're on the chair. Now don't go to the side with the leg, Jeannie. Straight out. Yeah, just straight out from your hip. Yes, there you go. Yeah. All right. Make the upper leg longer to bring the right leg up. Breathe into that extension. Reset. Reascend. Then make the right leg long. Even take it farther back than you think you should to extend the left leg out and down. Keep doming the chest. Sit on the chair. And ascending off the neck and throat if you're doing freestanding. And make the upper leg longer to bring the lower leg up. Bring the feet to Baddha Konasana in sarvangasana. Again, the feet press together, a little more on the outer heel, but the big toe mounds touch, so the feet are doing namaskar. Namaste. And then if you can go into the wide-legged halasana pose, Supta konasana from there, do that. Otherwise, you can take the legs together and go to halasana. And then once you're in halasana, take the legs wider. Or even just to the width of your bench there, Jenny, would be fine. Raise the outer hips, waist and hips, and then lift ascending inner thighs. But move the outer hips up first. Then ascend where the root of the thigh comes into the bowl of the pelvis, into the socket. Again, sometimes these are energetic dynamics. You don't expect a lot of movement. Okay, bring the legs back to halasana, legs together or slightly apart if you need to. And then take off your strap and extend your arms over your head with your palms up. If you're done, you're done. That's fine. Whoa! Now again, there's going to be a little rounding in the back, so keep grounding from the head of the humerus and the top of your shoulder blade. Move the side ribs, waist, hips ascend to lift the inner thigh. And walk the feet in and grab a hold of the feet. And extend the groins so you're doing like an urdva mukha konasana. Bring the back down, keep the legs as close to your body as you can. Oops. And then release the arms and roll out of the pose. Wait there. All right. Then take Supta virasana. Sitting between the heels, lying back. If you need a bolster back there, use that. Right, Betsy? Canned heat?
I think you're right.
Let's work together.
Yep.
Together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and man. Little boogie music. So, does anybody enjoy this pose yet? You tolerate it, okay. Scoop the buttocks under, so all the skin and flesh is moving from the top of the buttock away from the spine toward the sit bone. There's a slight grip from the outer ankle to the knee as you roll the thigh bones in to ground them. So there's a sense of that. As the thighs roll in, the sitting bones release away from the coccyx, and even the sacrum feels like it's getting wider. Might as well widen those hips, right? The older you get, the wider they get anyway, so. The pelvic rims have a sense of rolling toward one another, or even diagonally releasing down the inguinal crease, the groin. It's really a circularized movement. Take the arms over the head. If you're on a height, clasp your elbows, but start with the odd arm on top. We always tend to put the same arm on top every time, so switch that. Lie on the bolster. You don't have to, you can let the back muscles release away from the spine. Take the support of the bolster. If you're not on a height, release the back muscles away from the spine. Anyway, there's no gripping around the floating ribs or the kidneys. And then integrate the breath. Gradually come up out of Supta virasana. And extend your legs. So it's always a good day when you can get out of Supta virasana. So be sure to have your yoga alert button nearby. I yoga that I can't get up. We will send a van to come and help you out of the pose for a small fee. All right, sitting in upavista konasana. I'm a little giddy today. It's been such an amazing day. I'm crying tears of joy and laughing maniacally. And doesn't it feel like a weight has been lifted, even though there's a lot of work to do? Right? All right.
Yes.
Left hand to right foot. Right hand to the side. Lift the rib cage up. Twist toward that leg with your left rib cage. Gradually begin to extend out over the leg. Use a strap if you need to. Take the right hand to the foot then. Now you'll tend to tilt to the outer hip, so roll to the inner thigh sit bone of that right leg. Even as you lengthen the right side, the right waist, and shift your rib cage from left to right, don't allow the leg to tilt. And inhale, breath, come up. Come to the center, wait there. Right hand to left foot. Start with concave spine. Use the left hand to lift. Roll to that inner left sit bone thigh and begin to extend out over the leg. Bring the head back to neutral if you've overturned the head. Lengthen the left side, the waist and lumbar spine, and shift the ribs cage from right to left. Bringing the left hand to the foot if you can, and then roll the thigh in again. And inhale, breath, come up. With the arms in front, or if you need blocks out there, you can use blocks and extend forward. Draw the inner thigh deep into the socket. So the pubic plate has a sense of, and femur has a sense of moving back where it's not hardening into the groin or the bowl of the pelvis. And just go to your capacity. Okay, slide the hands in and up. Time to lie down like a corpse. Shavasana. You know that's what shava means, right? Get nice and warm, cozy. Center the spine. once you settle, just like at the start of class, it's a shamatha, gradually, calmly abiding with the breath as you release the nerves, the muscles from the effort of the dynamic poses. So the deeper relaxation comes when the mind stays present with the breath. And the distractions are minimal and short, coming home to the breath. As the breath settles, the mind can settle. As the mind settles, the breath may settle. It's not something you really have to do, but you want to be knowing that it is taking place. And share the benefit and the merit of this practice of all beings everywhere. May they be happy, healthy, free from suffering. May they have joy and contentment in this life, just as it is. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamidakshite Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamidavashishite Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks everybody. Thank you so much. Stay well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, William.
Thanks, William. Have a nice night.
My pleasure. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, William.
Thank you so much. Happy new president.
Amen, sister. It was just nice to see, people with some humanity, for Christ's sake.
And so a lot of and
Not that hard to do.
class.
All right.
Good night.
Stay well, y'all.
You too.